Do you know the value of money? If you have ever worked hard, you would know, Nitish said angrily. You just say that you want this, that you want this. Suma also looked at Nitish angrily. Did I ask you to bring something like that? Did I ask you to bring gold and diamond jewelry for me? I asked for the necessary things for the children and the house. How can anyone fulfill these needs if you don't fulfill them? These needs cannot be fulfilled without money, Nitish said, more or less shouting. When did I tell you to fulfill these needs at once? Bring whatever is most needed now. The rest will be taken in the coming months. You three keep ordering me saying that you want this, that you want this. Now you don't even think about how I can fulfill those demands. I will have to live on the amount you give me at one time for the whole month, Suma said, a little angry. As for earning money, I am not a poor student. But you did not give me a chance to work. If you say yes today, I will start looking out for a job. Yes, Nitish said sarcastically. Now, who will give you a job? You take care of the kitchen work. Suma's heart was burning. She was not a poor student, but she had not done any work. Now she decided to try it. She would do this and that work all day long. She cared so much about Nitish and the children. However, she was getting bored with Nitish's lack of importance towards her. The storm that had been brewing in Suma's heart had now become a tsunami. Nitish, knowingly or unknowingly, had been constantly proving her to be useless and useless. Nitish's friends' wives worked. But when they had children, Nitish was not at all prepared to think about the hardships they must have endured to take care of the little ones. The children had left for school and Nitish had left for the office. Nitish had probably forgotten what he had said yesterday. She had probably gotten used to Nitish's sarcastic nature. She had not taken it to heart. But this time every word he had spoken had stirred up a storm in her mind. There was no sign of the storm within her calming down. Before her marriage, she was working in Mysore at that time. Nitish was working in Bengaluru. She had thought that after marriage she would find a job in Bengaluru. A few months passed happily after marriage. She was about to propose her job to Nitish. In the meantime, he was transferred to Hyderabad. It took her several months to adjust to the new place. Nitish's job was very busy. He did not care at all about her job. What is the hurry? He had rejected her request by saying at once. Just when Suma was about to think about this seriously, she got a hint of the arrival of a new guest in her body. A son was born. 3 years later, a daughter was born. She was immersed in raising 2 children. Her life priorities changed. Her life's vision was focused on Nitish and the children. She had no time to think about herself and she didn't think about it. The children were good at studying. Her husband's job was also going well. He was in a big position in a multinational company. Overall, their life was going in the right direction. Money comes in and goes out at the same rate. Life is difficult in big cities. There is always a shortage of money. Nitish would tell her something about this. Nitish's harsh, sarcastic words would hurt her. She would think how much better it would have been if she had not quit her job. But whatever was meant to happen according to the situation, it would have happened. But every word Nitish said yesterday had caused her deep pain. The wives of Nitish's friends were in good positions. He probably saw that. Their financial status was better than his, with 2 salaries. But he did not want to think about what they had to lose. She started preparing her CV to search for jobs on the internet. Nitish must have forgotten what he had said. It had become his habit to warn Suma and then forget. He didn't think about how much this would hurt Suma's heart. He didn't even imagine the conflict that was going on in her mind. She kept sending her resume to different places, hoping to get a call for an interview. However, she did not get a proper response from anywhere. She had received calls from a couple of places, but the salary offers there were not good. It had been almost a year since she had done her MBA. She didn't have much work experience. She had to start from scratch. It was very difficult. In the meantime, one day Nitish came home in a happy mood and said, "Make me a cup of good tea. You will be very happy to hear the news I am about to tell you." "Is it news that will make me happy?" she asked neutrally. "Santosh has been saying that he wants us to come to Mumbai for a long time. We have not been anywhere recently. I had applied for LTC. Now he is on his knees. I will go and book the air ticket. You go to school and give the children leave application and start preparing to go to Mumbai." Really? Suma couldn't believe it. Her mental state had changed recently that she wanted such a change in her routine. Santosh is Nitish's cousin's son. There was only a 6-month gap between the two. Both their wives were also of the same age, so there was a lot of intimacy between the four of them. Just last year, Santosh and Rania had come to Bengaluru and stayed for many days before returning to Mumbai happily. Suma had taken care of them with great love. Her mind was eagerly waiting to go to Mumbai. Her humble mind had been yearning for change for so many days. She bought gifts for everyone. That day was approaching. When she sat on the plane to Mumbai, the children were indescribably happy. Suma was also happy. Santosh, Rania, and Arya had come to pick them up at the Mumbai airport. Sitting in the car, everyone was engrossed in their conversations. Everyone was happy that at least for a few days we would spend time happily. When they reached home, they received a grand welcome. When everyone sat at the dining table, Nitish said, "Today we are lucky to eat sister-in-law's cooking. What have you done, sister-in-law?" Hearing Nitish's words, Rania felt a little embarrassed and said, "I couldn't do anything today. I thought of taking a leave but I couldn't take it. So I ordered all the food for today from outside and brought it. I have 2 days off tomorrow." "No problem, sister-in-law. I will wait for tomorrow." After eating, everyone was busy talking for a long time. Then they went to bed. The next 2 days were holidays for Santosh, Rania, and the children. So those 2 days were spent well. They had planned a program to go out. So Suma was very happy. She started feeling that this change was what she needed. She had been bored with the monotony of life for a long time. Rania had hired a full-time maid at home. She would come at 6 a.m. and leave by 8 p.m. after finishing the housework and cooking. So she had no enthusiasm or habit of doing housework. But she was so impressed by Suma's treatment that she tried to do something to treat them well. Thus, Saturday and Sunday were lost. On Monday, Rania had to go to the office. She worked for a multinational company. She was leaving home at 8 o'clock. Santosh's office was nearby, so he was leaving home late. When Suma woke up, it was 8:30. When she came out, Santosh was standing ready to go to the office. "Maybe I woke up late. Are you ready to go?" "Yes, I left earlier. I was waiting for you to wake up." "Nitish must still be sleeping." "Yes, where is Rania?" "She already left for the office." "Yes." Suma looked at her watch. "Yes, she leaves at 8 o'clock every day. By the way, I will also leave. The housekeeper makes all the arrangements for your breakfast, coffee, and dinner. Tell her whatever you want and get it." Santosh said and left in a hurry. Meanwhile, Nitish also got up. Both the husband and wife looked at each other. Santosh's children had also left for school. What should they do now that they are the only ones in their family? Meanwhile, the housekeeper gave them a cup of tea. Both of them started sipping tea in silence. Rania was in a high position. Since both of them were employed, their standard of living was good. No one thought much while spending. There were sophisticated and expensive goods in the house. Nitish and Suma started thinking that since both of them were working, they would not have had the opportunity to think about anything at home. They thought that there would not have been any need to keep so many accounts. Meanwhile, the children got up. They asked the maid to make breakfast and went to take a bath. After eating breakfast, they all went out to roam around. They wandered around here and there until 4 o'clock and came home. They were bored of wandering around by themselves. By then, Santosh's children had come home. Nitish's children were happy to see those children. A wave of happiness spread in the house with the four children playing. Rania came home at 8 p.m. and Santosh at 9 p.m. Both were very tired. The maid had finished cooking and left. Suma and Nitish were busy thinking. Santosh and Rania would come by 9 p.m. The children would have come in the afternoon. How could they spend 5-6 hours? Today they were happily playing with their children. What would their routine be like for the rest of the day? If the tutor comes and teaches for 1 hour and then leaves, they should find out for themselves how much they taught and how much they learned. The children are not that big yet. After a while, Rania and Santosh came back fresh after changing their clothes. When they sat down to eat on the dining table, they saw a thin, watery sambar and tasteless potato salad that the maid had prepared. Then she saw the dining table of her house. She was the only one working in her house. There were no expensive things in the house, but there were so many food items on the table. Nitish and the children never ate without chutney, curd, and bhaji. There was also something sweet. Suma would sweat a lot when guests arrived. The children simply stared at the plates of food. But Ranya's children had become accustomed to eating the food the maid had prepared. So they started eating. Then Ranya stood up and said, "Make curd, there is curd in the fridge." They were starting to feel embarrassed after seeing the ingredients placed on the dining table for the guests. "Okay, Ranya, everything is fine. Then add sugar to the curd and eat it," Suma said, holding Ranya's hand and making her sit down. "I will get it," she said and brought curd from the fridge. Everyone sat down and started eating. Santosh and Ranya were quite tired, so after all these formalities they went to bed. Since the children had to leave early in the morning, they also went to their rooms. Now Nitish, Suma and the children were alone in the hall again. Conflicting thoughts started coming to Nitish and Suma's minds. Both of them were earning money. But what are they getting from life? What are they giving to life? Life slips away like sand in their hands day by day. Then they have no choice but to remember the old days. Everyone's day was the same routine. In the afternoon, Nitish and Suma would wander here and there with the children. Santosh and Ranya, who came home exhausted at night, could not even talk properly to the children. They had just been watching Santosh and Ranya's life closely. Only at night did they get a chance to talk to each other, not only about handling the small responsibilities of the house, but also about paying the children's fees, attending their school meetings, and even about their education. Nitish could tell that Ranya did not want to compromise on anything. How could she? She was as busy as Santosh. She had a big post, a big salary, and a big responsibility in the office. Suma makes so much compromise with herself. She handles so much responsibility for the house and children. Because of that, she was able to pay a lot of attention to her job. The salary that her family gets may be only half of that of Santosh and Ranya, but there is happiness and peace in the house. There is no such indifference at all. In these 5 days, she felt suffocated in Santosh's house. Similarly, the 7 days of their vacation ended like that. Only 2-3 days were left. All their programs were still pending. They had come to Santosh's house with something in mind, but something had happened. Now they had no desire to be there. Nitish started remembering the time when Santosh and Ranya had come to his house. How Suma would finish the household work before they arrived. How she would help with the children's studies. How neatly would she cook. She would also come home early. Then they would all go out together. He had even taken a few days off for them. Suma would also constantly make sure that nothing was lacking in their hospitality. Santosh's house may have been wealthy in terms of finances, but he started to feel like his own house was the one he didn't want. Tens of such thoughts kept coming and going in his mind. He started to feel guilty thinking about how badly he had behaved with Suma at times. He started to feel disgusted with himself thinking about how much his misbehavior must have hurt her. Nitish decided to stay at their house for another 2 days and then leave. The next day, their flight was scheduled. Meanwhile, an accident occurred. Santosh's daughter Sanjana was coming home from the school van. On the way, a child got out. Sanjana was standing near the door. The driver drove without noticing and Sanjana fell down. The driver stopped the vehicle because all the children were screaming. She was picked up and taken to the hospital. Her leg was fractured. There were also injuries from rubbing against the ground. The driver of the van first called Santosh. The phone was switched off as he was in a meeting. Then he called Ranya's mobile. She also did not receive the call. Then, when he called the home number, Nitish picked up the phone. Hearing what the driver said, he got worried. I am leaving now, he said and hung up the phone. Suma was also shocked to hear his words. When they called Ranya and Santosh, they could not be reached. Nitish and Suma immediately took a taxi and went to the hospital. Sanjana was undergoing treatment there. Sanjana started crying profusely on seeing them. Nitish was so angry that he wanted to slap the driver, but he felt that this was not the right time. He patted Sanjana's head, wiped her tears, and reassured her. Nothing will happen, don't cry. The wounds were bandaged. A plaster was put on her leg. All this took a long time. In the meantime, Ranya had called the driver after seeing the missed calls. She was shocked to know about the matter and immediately reached the hospital. Seeing Sanjana's condition, she burst into tears. Nitish and Suma not only consoled her but also brought her home with Sanjana. Meanwhile, Santosh's meeting had also ended. His mobile phone turned on. Nitish explained everything that had happened. He immediately came home. It was natural for both the parents to feel sad seeing Sanjana's condition. But Nitish and Suma were surprised to see that their sadness was forgotten in a few hours. Now their concern was who should stay at home with their daughter. The conversation that started between the two later most took the form of a fight. The doctor said that the plaster will be there for 45 days. The doctor said that she should be taken good care of for that long. She cannot even go to school. It will also harm her studies. Whatever these boys do, they will cause problems for all of us. Ramya said, "Why are you saying this? What will happen if Sanjana hears about it? She is not yet out of pain. She is already scared," Nitish said. Then what should I do? I can't take leave for that long. It is difficult to take leave for 2 days. But Rania, your daughter is more important than your job. You must take leave for her. She has been injured so badly. Her leg is broken. If you cause her any trouble, you will regret it for the rest of your life. There is an urgent need to look after her well-being. You cannot leave her to the care of the housekeeper. Suma said, "If you take leave for so many days, my job will go," Rania said. "How will your job go? If your leg had been fractured, would your job have gone?" Santosh said in a slightly harsh voice. "Then take leave yourself. Why are you two arguing? Both of you should take turns taking leave and look after the child's well-being. The tutor will come anyway about the reading day. If you bring any child's notes, you can finish them slowly. She can sit in a few days. For that, quit your job and take care of the house," Santosh said with a little irritation and went to his room. "If you get a big salary, you will be happy. If you face any hardship, I will have to bear it myself. You alone should not face any trouble," she said, and she also went to her room and closed the door tightly. Her voice gradually became muffled as she spoke. Santosh and Ranya had forgotten that they were both in the house. They could hear each other shouting loudly from the closed room. Nitish and Suma were sitting in the hall, looking at each other. Then they also went to bed. The next day, both of them left their daughter in the same state and went to the office because they had to take a leave later. Nitish and Suma cancelled their outing and took care of Sanjana. That evening their flight was scheduled. Santosh and Ranya came home early that day. While making tea in the kitchen, Ranya said, "Suma, you must be thinking about something. When we came to your house, you treated us a lot. But when you came to our house, we gave you a lot of responsibility." "Are you talking about that, Ranya? We also felt very good. There was a lot of change in our daily routine." "Suma, you have done a good job. I did not think about the job from the beginning. Now I feel like quitting the job. But quitting is a pain. You are caught in a dilemma, but you are not able to handle the responsibilities of the house." This makes Santosh not happy. The children are not happy and I also have no peace of mind. Every time I am under some kind of tension, I am not able to handle the responsibilities properly. Ranya's eyes filled with tears as she said. The sadness of many days came rushing back to her at once. What is this, Ranya? Everyone has some difficulty. We should do what is easy for us. We should not divide ourselves into so many pieces, said Suma and started wiping Ranya's tears. Say something, Ranya. What is it? You should have the courage to quit your job for a few years. These few years will allow you to shape your children's careers. Life is like sand, it keeps slipping through your hands. We never know, said Suma, and both of them came out with their cups of tea. The four of them were sipping tea in silence, but the internal conflict was going on in their minds. Suma was thinking something else. She decided to tear up her CV first. Nitish had made a bet in his mind that he would never say anything that would hurt Suma's heart again. She was the matriarch of his family. The sweetness that remained in his life was because of Suma. Nitish and Suma's family were such a peaceful and happy family. Ranya had started to ponder Suma's words. In a short while, Nitish's family came into the hall with their bags. Santosh and Ranya were sitting with their heads bowed down. Sir Santosh, Nitish said. Santosh immediately stood up and hugged Nitish. Sorry, Nitish, I couldn't do anything for you. What are you saying, Santosh? We are all happy here. Now you have to make plans to come to our house. I will also come to the airport to drop you off. No, you don't need to come. A taxi has arrived downstairs. We will go. You, Ranya, take good care of the children. They need you, Santosh, Nitish said, placing his hand on his shoulder affectionately. The two eyes met. Santosh answered in his own eyes. He came to the taxi. Nitish's family got into the taxi and left. Meanwhile, the very definition of life for Nitish and Suma and Santosh and Ranya had changed. Their ideologies had changed, their direction. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.